Bro, what are you up to? We just got this thing on the lift.
Damn right we did. We got some parts going. All right, we got a big build. It's winter, so it is building time again. By the way, welcome back to Steel Mountain Moto. That's the most important part. It's your boy Marcus, back in the Steel Mountain Moto garage. Scott is behind the camera, but we're gonna flip back and forth because we're gonna be pretty hands-on today. So let's get the bags off and get started.
Okay, but all right, I'll get first part. All right, so first off, Marcus, the big upgrade is this new Legend Piggyback suspension. So we're gonna throw this set on the back, get rid of these Harley-Davidson shocks, and we also have the OG Reservoir mounts for the remote reservoirs that are going to mount on here. It's going to look pretty sick. It's probably going to ride a lot better. We're going to get a little bit of height, a little better dampening, all that kind of stuff. We'll figure out how to set it up, but let's get into it. Let's rip it apart. All right, so just going to grab a couple of quick things here. So first things first, we're going to put the center stand underneath. Marcus is going to get onto that. We're going to undo both of these 3/4 inch bolts. This does have the factory adjustment. Did you ever adjust this when you had a passenger?
Not once. I don't think I even adjusted it for myself.
Well, so from factory, you can adjust your factory suspension here. But obviously, if you're Marcus, you don't bother doing it. So you're going to love these Legends. Anyway, I've got a long here. I've got a short for down here so I can get around the saddlebag mount. Let's get the center stand underneath the bike, get it lifted up, and we'll get the weight off of those shocks. Man, I can never leave you alone. I thought you were doing the center stand.
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute. But I just thought I'd make life a little bit easier for us, having to only use one socket, as well as to get these crash bars out of the way, because I didn't tell you everything that we got for Christmas. So we have more parts to go on. These crash bars are going to be part of a little bit of a different video that we have, but we're going to kill two birds, one stone here. So let's get these off first.
Okay, man, I don't know what you're up to. I know there's a lot of boxes over there and you're being super secretive about them. It's absolutely fine. I'll get the bike raised up. You get to work on those saddlebag mounts, and we'll take it from there. Let's get her done. Are you still working on that?
I am. I'm sorry it takes a little longer than expected, only because our good friends at Harley-Davidson loves to use two different sizes here. We have a 9/16 on the outside, a 1/2 inch on the inside, and for our Torx on the other side, we have a T45 and a T40. So I'm very upset with Harley engineers, but it's okay, it's all worth it. It's gonna lead to bigger, greater things because I still haven't told you what we got cooking.
So Marcus likes to leave things all around the garage, such as this beautiful painted panel with the Steel Mountain Moto supply badging. That's dope. That's dope AF. Anyway, he likes to leave them like down here, so I kick them and stuff. So I'm gonna go put it somewhere safe, and then we're gonna get cracking these bolts loose. Now, just for reference, jack is in. We have the tire barely touching the deck here. And we're going to make sure that the suspension doesn't drop out as soon as we loosen up those bolts. Stay tuned, kids. It's going to be fun. All right. On to bigger and better things. So again, wheels barely touching the ground. We're going to get on these big honking bolts. And we're just going to loosen them off and get rid of this old, crusty, dusty Harley-Davidson suspension. I should also mention for all of our viewers that this is a 12-inch suspension. So we do have the tape measure out. We did this off camera, but we're going to measure from the center of this bolt to the center of that bolt, and there is no weight on that right now, and you'll see that we're dead on roughly 12 inches. So this is a 12-inch shock. I believe the Legends we're going to are 13, so we're going to be one up in the rear. And then we have to adjust everything. So we're going to work on that. Let's get these rear shocks off. All right, so loosen those off. There's one. And there's two. All right, suspension's off.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. What else did you think was holding this thing on?
I don't know. I was expecting it to kind of expand and bang.
No. So this is it, kids. This is it. We take this off. We bolt the other one on. Now, we are going to have a couple of things that we're going to space out and do. There is that all in the kit. So we're going to get everything figured out, where our bolts go, where our spacers go, get everything raised away, or pushed away from the internals of the bike, and get everything hanging here. Easy peasy.
All right.
All right. Right now, I'm just putting together the OG brackets, original Garage Moto, that is. These are friends from Quebec. We've got some of their parts on both of our bikes, but this is the remote reservoir bracket, and that is going to sit back here on the bike. So we know that these two holes are going to be it. So we're just going to go through all of our nuts and bolts that we have, figure out our spacers, and figure out how that's going to mount. We already know that our shock is going to go from here to here. And then we also have to get our line out of the way. So I believe we're going to utilize this bolt here as well and space that out so that we can tuck our line away so we don't have a really goofy, we're just going to have a nice loopy to our piggyback shock. Okay, man, I don't know. What do you think? You know, it's your bike. We're just trying to figure out how this should go, where the loop-de-loop should be, which way the shock itself should sit. Maybe like that? We do. I don't know, guys. So we're going to go through this and try to figure out the coolest way to get this mounted. So we got minimum line, keeping the idea that we're going to have a tour pack up here at times. We're also going to be raised up an additional inch, so just trying to get the little things here tweaked on this side, and then maybe we'll actually film it and show you what we're doing on the other side.
What are you doing? You're on the wrong side.
Oh, no, dude. So keep in mind, we're gaining an inch here in travel, or in length of shock. We're going from your 12-inch shock on the Harley-Davidson to a 13-inch shock on the Legend. So what we need to do is we're going to drop out the bottom bolt here. Okay, the tire is sitting on the deck right now. Then we're going to lift the bike up. We're going to gain that inch on the other side and bolt up the bottom. Then we're going to come work on the left side of the bike. All right, so time to lift her up. We need to make up this difference from here to here. So this is our extra inch of travel that we're going to make up. So as we get close there, that's going to line up. I think we're getting there right now. So what we need to do is spacer in behind, bolt through the front with our smaller washer there. And you'll see I've gone a little too high. So we're going to lower that back down until that bolt lines up.
Money.
And that's it there. So we're going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on that. We're going to torque it to 55 foot-pounds. Too much Loctite. Little dab will do ya. And I need my 3/4, which I have here. Okay, so that is tight. Snug this one up. So the plan is we'll tighten these up 55 foot-pounds. We'll figure out our reservoir placement, get our line where we want it. We'll copy it on the other side, and we'll take you through the step-by-step over there.
All right, so just like most jobs in the Steel Mountain Moto garage, Scott's done all the heavy lifting, so now it's my turn. So the reason it's easier now is because one side has been completely done. That'll give us the perfect height from our frame to our swing arm down here. We've undone the bottom bolt. So now we're going to take a ratchet, we're going to undo this top bolt, and that'll make us free, clear, out of the way, get the second shock off. Once that second shock is off, we're going to put the bracket on for the reservoirs. Oh, there we go. Okay, so shock is done, out of the way. Spare parts go on the floor where Scott likes it. Now, we're going to work on the OG bracket. These OG stuff, original garage, it comes with everything you need in the kits, which are pretty nice. So we're going to utilize these two holes right here. The bracket's going to sit just like this. You'll have an extra optional point if you want to loop your line through here, and it'll just be like another anchor point, and then suspension, suspension. Bob is your uncle, not your aunt. All right, next up, to get these bolts off, again, another part of Harley that uses two different bolts for the same part of the bike. It's always great. We have a Torx here, and then right beside it we have, what's the official name of that other bolt head?
It's that like would be a hex or an Allen.
Hex or Allen. See, I call it Allen.
Just like if you had a friend named Allen?
Yeah.
It'd be perfect.
Okay, so that's done. And be careful because this actually holds up this entire component here. So
it holds in the tombstone taillight, holds up all the plastic pieces, everything else.
So be very careful. This next one is actually the back bolt of docking hardware if you do have docking hardware. If you don't have any docking hardware installed, I don't think you'll have any bolts here at all, if I'm not mistaken. There's nothing that this... Oh yeah, there might be something that still holds this.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since we put docking hardware on.
Yeah, every bike should have docking hardware. It's pretty awesome. So, both these bolts are now off. You will not be reusing them. OG will supply you with 2 new bolts, right? 2, those. Technically 4, but this is one side, you need 2. So, we're gonna put on a half generous amount of Loctite, the blue kind. Now, ooh, there's a spacer involved for both of these. So, don't forget your spacers, kids. The long one will go to the furthest one back, and then we'll have a shorty in the front. Okay? So, take this off, make life a little bit easier. I'm gonna go right in there. I'm just gonna start on one, grabs off to the other one, and then once it starts grabbing, we're gonna start to make life easier once again. Again, don't cinch down before both of them are perfectly 100% seated. Cinched, cinched. There's a torque spec on these. It is 22 pounds. I'm gonna put it on the screen here.
22 foot-pounds.
22 foot-pounds. So, where's our trusty torque wrench?
Well, that's where I come in, I guess.
He's back.
So, this guy was set to, yeah, that's the right number. We already have our Allen key, or Allen on here. I believe it's the right size. And Marcus actually, by hand, made it good and tight. And it's actually at torque spec. Not bad, my friend. Not bad at all.
Call that Steel Mountain spec, all right? That's how you do it. Bob is your uncle, not your auntie. Okay, so that's it. Now we get to the fun part. Loctite is your friend. Small little known fact about Steel Mountain Moto. Before I met Scott and I worked on all my own stuff, I never used Loctite at all. Scott knows this because we're pulling stuff apart. And he's like, where's the Loctite? I was like, what? We're Loctite. So that's just another nice little tidbit about our friendship and how helpful it is. So we're going to get one in. We're going to sit.
Is there a certain sequence that this goes in?
Yes, the top. Do the top first. So
what about spacers and washers and things?
Oh yeah, so if you saw, I put on the spacer there, the washer on the inside. Again, this came with the Legends kit, so make sure that is correct. So the OEM washer that would go on this bolt is not used. Okay, where is that one? That one is right here, okay. That one is slightly bigger than what is supplied with Legends. This is the Legends one, so be careful. You want to take these and throw them. I'm not going to be mean and throw it in Scott's garage, but throw them away. You don't need them anymore. Use them for another project when you lose another washer. So, more Loctite. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to go into the bottom one. And again, don't forget your spacer. It goes on the back here. Line it up. And we're slightly off kilter, so we're going to need to drop the bike just a hair. Just a hair. Let me grab that from you.
Dropping the bike.
Do a little drop it like it's hot. And right there, right there, right there. That's perfect. Look at that. See? Teamwork. Find a friend. Make sure you always have a friend to work on your motorcycle with. We can't help you find a friend, but you can be friends with us. Watch another video to find friends. It's not this one. This one's how to work on your bike. Do it in your backyard, in your garage, wherever you like. I don't judge, but I might. So, top, bottom is on. We are going to torque these down to, again, 50 pounds as per Legends.
50 what pounds?
50 foot-pounds.
50 foot-pounds.
50 feet for all you feet lovers out there. All right, so we figured out how we want to loop this line here. There's actually so many different variations of how you can loop this, whether you want the cables to be facing upwards, outwards. I'm not going to show you demos because that's going to loop it up or mess up our loop. But essentially, this is how I want it run. It's a nice spiral with starting from the outside going inwards. Again, it's all up to you how much you care about the aesthetics of this. So next up, after we put our nice little bracket on the reservoir, we will attach everything all together. And again, don't forget the Loctite. There we go, that's on there. Tight, nice and tight, and there we go. We are essentially done. Besides, one more component is using that anchor point. Again, using that optional spot, we're going to utilize this little piece here. We're going to grab the cable just like that, and then you're going to, again, use that double washer. Double spacer, I should say.
Okay, so now we're going to get into some fancy ciphering. Okay, so our piggyback shocks back here are going to set our compression. This little adjustment down here is going to set our rebound. So that is how quickly the shock is going to push back out. And then lastly, we have an adjustment called sag, and that is the spring rate. So how much the spring compresses when we actually sit on the bike. So we've got this set to 3. We have 6 different notches here. We've got it set right in the middle at 3. We have 8 adjustments here. We have that set at 4. So we're right in the middle road. We're going to figure out where Marcus wants those once we get back out on the road, but we're middle road right now, and we'll fine tune it as we go. Next, we're going to set up the sag, and that we can do while we're sitting here in the garage. So we're going to lower the bike down. We're going to get Marcus on top. We're going to start utilizing our tape measure, and we're going to get our sag figured out. Let's get to it. Okay, you hop on.
Hippity hop.
Hoppity hop on, buddy. Okay guys, we have loaded Marcus up onto the bike. We are now going to set the sag. That is going to be the amount that the spring is compressed with bike on, or sorry, with rider on, rider off. So we're gonna do that. Do we need to show everybody this?
We can skip it. We'll show you when it's done.
Let's do it. Okay. $12.25.
Okay, awesome, done.
See? And that's how you do it.
As per usual, Scott gets to do the hard part.
Yeah, exactly. I do all the grunt work around here. Nobody else has the muscles. I'm not letting you down. So I guess that's it.
That is it. That's all. That's another project checked off.
That was a tough one. That was a little bit more in depth, but it wasn't tough. It was actually a pretty good project. It was a fun one.
But it will be well worth it. I'm so excited to finally get this on the road, try it out, give a full review, and I'm just reviewing it against stock, so I think it'll be awesome.
A non-adjusted stock. So
Yeah.
stock versus Legends that are tuned to him. So it's going to be a different bike altogether. But there's going to be more coming down the road. We are doing quite a few things. I'm starting to see what's in some of these boxes around here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be a big season for Marcus next year. Wasn't planned this way.
It wasn't, but that's how it's going to go down. And the only way that you're going to find out what we're doing next is by liking, comment, subscribing, and
hit that bell. That will let you know when the next video is up, when the next goodies are going on Marcus's bike. So thanks for watching. We started this video with the saddlebags off. It's time to put them back on. I did most of the work. You put your damn saddlebag back on.
Peace.
Peace. Let's see where our adventures take you. Adios.